Coach Avon back again with another circuit here. So now we're working on isometric circuits here, okay? So there's three different types of muscle action. Eccentric, that lengthening the muscle. Isometric is when we hold it there, all right? When you do a plank, when you feel so much contraction but you're not moving your muscle too much, that's isometric. The last thing would be concentric, just standing up. So we want to work on, which is a typically not worked on type of movement in athletics or in the strength and conditioning world, which is isometric, all right? How well can we hold a position so we can explode out of the position better when we have to move out of it in a split second? All right, so I have 4 exercises here. First thing is called the split stance isometric. All right, all you're gonna do is get in a split stance here, just like this, and have that back knee to the ground there. Hovering about 1 inch to 2 inches off the ground. All right, you're holding there. Putting a ton of pressure into my foot here. Notice how I'm shaking here. So I'm gonna squeeze everything really hard. All right, for about 15 to 25 seconds each leg. All right, why I have that range there is if you have a weight and you can hold it there, do 15 seconds each leg. If you don't have a weight and you can hold it efficiently without shaking too much, do about 20 to 25 seconds. So again, just like this, all right, torso straight up, and I'm holding it, driving, squeezing all my muscles here, holding for 20 seconds here, and then rest, all right? So that's split stance isometric. Next thing is hamstring drive. All right, it's the same thing as that passive hamstring stretch, except now what we're doing is driving into it. So with that passive hamstring stretch is I'm leaning forward. What I wanna do now is drive down. So drive that heel into that box of the stairs you're on and towards the ground. All right, so towards the box, towards the ground. So almost pulling it back to you. So what I do is on the board I wrote 2 sets. So 1 set would be 5 seconds of a drive, rest for a second, going back. So it'd be 3 reps of those and then 2 sets of that. So it may sound a little confusing, but I'll go through it here. So let's say I'm starting set number 1. I drive down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, rest. Do 3 reps of that on your right leg, switch to your left leg, and that's 1 set. All right, so again, I'm pressing into my heel. You'll feel an isometric contraction of your calf and your hamstring there, and I press into it hard, all right? Notice how I'm not up here, I'm leaning into it a little bit, putting a lot of pressure into the box. So I'm putting a good isometric hamstring contraction there. Next is a single leg glute ham raise. All right, I'm gonna come over to a box here. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna elevate one leg like this, making a 90-degree angle with my butt to the box, and then my knee angle here, 90 degrees. One leg is up like that, and I press my hips all the way up, and I hold. So the same thing with those hamstring drives I'm doing here. This heel that's on the box is driving into the box, into the ground. All right, drive in, push up, keep those hips all the way up. All right, making sure that I'm not sagging like this, and all the way up like that. Drive it in, hold it for the prescribed time, which is about 20 seconds, and then switch. All right, keep that leg up, drive into it just like that, and then down. All right, so that one's a pretty intense one, so if you can't do it elevated, you can also do it on the ground, just like this. Foot flat, up like that, and hold. All right, so there's always a progression and a regression that you can do if you cannot do those things. Last but not least, we're gonna walk over to a wall here, wall push, iso. The same exact rep and set structure as the hamstring drives. So 2 sets of 3 reps of 5 seconds each. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna face away, face towards this wall here, and I'm gonna get in the position like I wanna push this person away, but pushing with my shoulder and my legs with an athletic drive. So pretend like I'm in this position right here. All right, so my foot is about a foot outside of hip width apart. All right, and all I'm doing right now is in that athletic position here with my knee as high up as I can, is driving into the wall here. All right, putting as much pressure in. All right, that means your foot needs to be anchored a decent amount away, all right, or either 1 foot to 2 feet away, and drive into the wall like that. All right, driving into that immovable object. All right, hold for 5 seconds. So I stand up, lean in, get in a good position, and drive. Drive for 5 seconds each leg. All right, and then switch. You should feel like you're putting a ton of pressure, not into your shoulder, but into the big part of your arm here, that side of your tricep, into that wall. So again, just drive in. All right, as hard as you can, 5 seconds each leg. So in summary, going back over the isometric circuit, that's split stance isometric, hamstring drive, single leg glute raise, and then the wall push. So with each of these, they're a little bit different, every single one you're doing. Make sure that you watch the video, listen closely to what I'm saying. Each one of these needs to be done with intent because they're hard to do and your body's gonna wanna start to fail, your muscles might give out from under you. Do it with the prescribed time that's hard enough, but not to the point where you're shaking too much and losing that intent there. So drive with the ones that you're supposed to drive with those last 3, and make sure that you're thinking the whole time about squeezing. Squeeze every single muscle that's on your body without actually putting hands on them. Why we work these muscles in the isometric circuit is so when in sport, when we break down, change directions, when we come from those positions, those are the muscles that need to be able to isometrically contract and in a split second move to the left, to the right. So with these exercises, make sure you're just focusing on how well you can do them and the time prescribed, all right? And that's your isometric circuit.